You want leather dyed leather. That would be brown leather. So you'd need to dye brown leather like a shade of brown. But like a slightly different shade of brown. I mean, if you haven't recently, you should generate a new world too. I'm very tempted to start a new fort. However, I'm not going to. But I am going to do more with dye. Because I would like to finish the fort that I'm currently playing. And then afterwards, we can do our royal arena monster fighting fancy color fort with coordinated colors. It's very cool. But I am returning to the momentous domain of Godly Tombs. So, for those of you who are unaware, this is a crowdfunded channel. I don't get to do this job unless people watch the videos and watch the streams. I don't take corporate sponsorship. So, if you have a hat next to your name, thank you. You help keep this channel funded. I wouldn't be here without you. That goes for Twitch and YouTube. Although if you are only able to watch and that's it, that's totally fine with me. I just would like to say thank you to those who do keep the channel funded. And I will be watching the dye page on the wiki, I think, for the next little bit. Oh my god. So the dye page on the wiki now has all of this. It is like perpetually getting long. Like somebody is just like going through the list and like adding all of them slowly. So whoever's doing that, oh boy. Because it used to like just be these, right? It used to just be Dimple Cup, Bladeweed, Hydroot, and Silver Barb. And now it's all of this. So, like, you know, if you want... You need, like, chestnut bark. Or maple bark. Or maybe oak bark. Oak bark dye leather. For the brownest brown leather. Accurately colored. I mean, there's also eggplant leather for... I'm just, like, looking at this and going, like, people are gonna make pride flag uniforms, aren't they? Could absolutely do that very easily. Anyway, let's jump back over here and go here. Strangetomb. So, I want to breach hell today. That's the actual goal for today. Yesterday, the goal was to get the population up and try and make people happier and try and get the goblins attacking me. The goblins attacked me once and immediately left. I think most of them became zombies and they left. The goal today is to... We can have onionites. Was there onion dye in there? What color is that? Like a beige, probably? I'm going to mess around with dye a little bit because, like, the mechanics have changed. And I do have access to Dimple stuff, so that won't be hard to do. Because why not? They had rice dye? There was rice dye previously? I'd need to go look back in the history. I'll be honest with you, I basically never messed with dyes because the way the stockpiles worked before, it was just kind of a pain in the ass. And it would end up in all your food barrels. And it was just kind of annoying. But... we can dive in. Yeah, I don't remember there being a rice dye. I mean, maybe there was. That may have also been a mod. I don't know. I know there was mods that added more dyes. So, who knows? I don't think DFHack is updated just yet, but we are now in. So I guess the first thing to do is to upgrade my clothing stockpiles. Maybe also just, like, upgrade this whole area. The named dwarves in the fort currently are Crabapple, Cervix, the Armless, Elf Poles, Snail, Lobster, Bubmer, as well as Clockwork Dragon. Akenton Plays, Pebble, and Insect Devourer, as well as Zacher, Punches Elves, Merlin, and The Runner, Celesty, and Dig Dugo, and Electra, Fractabellum, Foul G, P. Alex, Arga, Lucifer Love Story, Founder, Zachris, Mina, and George, as well as Lightning Roger, Entropy, and Romanoid Potpourri, and Retired Navy Vet, The Woo, and Mac Menace, as well as Dura. And scrolling down chat, we got Claiborne, our firstborn child, and Laya, and Behrus. Now, looking at the YouTube chat, I'm going to go, Caesardes, would you like a dwarf? For a second there, I thought Potpourri was on fire, but no, they're just legendary. Okay, Caesardes, what kind of dwarf would you like? Obviously, a lot of them have been named, but if there's a particular dwarf that stands out here from the list, let me know. The reason I'm giving them a dwarf is because someone redeemed one in Twitch chat not too long ago and said, just give it to somebody. So I'm just giving it to the first person I see. Just a dwarf with a beard. Dwarf with a beard who's not named. That's getting rather challenging. Even with the 59 dwarves we have in the fort. This one. That's what you get. A rather upset dwarf. So apparently one of the things that got fixed or tweaked quite a bit is meetings. So that'll also be something that I should watch today. Xertes. Sling owns. Is naturally trustful of everybody and does not feel the slightest need to pay back favors done for him, no matter how major the help or how much he needed it. He can get caught up in internal deliberations when action is necessary, and he is very impolite and inconsiderate of property. He often finds himself to be changing his mind with somebody to agree with somebody else, and he can occasionally lose focus on the matter at hand. He has a tendency towards forming deep and emotional bonds with others, and he can occasionally overindulge. He tends to be a little wasteful when working on projects, and he has a tendency to go it alone without considering the advice of others. He is assertive, and he is not particularly ambitious, and he does not hold on to grievances, and he tends to avoid any physical confrontations. He works to square this natural tendency with his respect of martial prowess, and he personally sees lying as an important means to an end, and values loyalty and does not really value skills related to fighting. He likes chert as well as brass, cinnamon and glossier as well as cotton fabric and the color amethyst. Leather armor, anvils, and dogs for their loyalty and the sound of the pregnant couple, and when possible prefers to consume Perry and giant two-humped camel's milk, and absolutely hates jumping spiders. Romanoid, yeah, you've been the militia commander for a little bit. And I only have 6 full sets of armor, so there's only 6 people in that squad. He personally sees lying as an important means to an end, and values loyalty, and does not really value skills related to fighting, and dreams of crafting a masterwork someday. Lolok is your god. I think you only just got here, too. Yeah, no, you literally just arrived. So you just survived the gauntlet of entry into the fort. So welcome to the fort. Is the color amethyst new? The colors are not new. But the ability to dye clothing colors is new. So when you're reading dwarves descriptions and it's like they like to see this color or they like this color, that has been the case forever. What is new is the ability for the player to create dyes of those colors. Also, I think this is a pretty good area for my new clothing industry. So let's move clothing over here real quick. I'm also going to need to check bedrooms, probably. Let me just go down here and just see how many... So all of these are claimed. These are what, shale? So for those of you who've missed this fort, this is a redo of a world that, or me replaying a world that I haven't played in over a year. So this is a world with a lot of history that I spent quite a lot of time in, meaning I'm actually rather attached to this world, I've found, especially after coming back to it. I did quite a number of forts in this world, most of them became big videos, and because of that, I'm rather sentimental about this world in some ways. And I haven't played this particular map since I was here last, so it's been a long time. It has been a long time. And the kind of whole idea of this particular map is it is one of the worst, like, starting scenarios I've seen for a fortress, if not the worst I've seen, where the surface is virtually uninhabitable. The map is very shallow. There is no metal on the map. And my goal is to get surface from underground to the surface. Stone a lot. Let's see what we can do. I've got a lot of engravers. I think all of my miners up top here are named. I could give you an engraver, because I don't think I have any stone crafters. I've got a wood crafter. I've got a named stone crafter and a glass maker. But I could give you an engraver. Does that work? Beard or no beard? What's your pref? Or you could just pick someone from the list who isn't named. No Goblinite? Well, that's the problem. Going to the surface, you turn into one of these. Opposed to life zombies, which will murder everything they touch. Goblins will leave the map when they become those. No Goblin Siege has successfully entered the map without immediately becoming zombies and leaving. We've had one so far, that I'm aware of, and they immediately left. Engraver bearded, okay. I mean, I only just managed to aggravate the goblins last stream. So we'll see what they're able to do today. But so far, we've not successfully managed to... We successfully traded once, and I stole all of their stuff because they weren't my faction. And nobody's successfully attacked us from the surface. If you're confused, just type in !goal in the Twitch chat, or just go to the YouTube channel and watch the first 10 minutes of the most viewed video I have. And now I need to wait for a minute and 30 seconds because I think Stonelot's probably in an ad. We're up to 59 dwarves, which is crazy because we just lost like 15. Here, I'll do a little bit more of a tour and read that after the ads are done. This is all dwarves that attempted to make it into the fort. This is all dwarves that attempted to make it into the fort. Those died before we got here. These are all dwarves that attempted to make it into the fort. Where's that huge murder fields? These are all dwarves that attempted to make it into the fort. I think there's also a trade caravan in there somewhere because this is a titan who lives on the surface who's got a couple kills. Just a couple. The first Grim Messiah is dead now. Unfortunately. But we were able to get their body. In fact, that's what killed you. Darkwing Duck died yesterday to a zombie porcupine. So, unfortunately, Darkwing Duckling was bested. I've also got a bunch more dead dwarves up here. And if I go up here, like this dwarf, who's a zombie, is becoming the Strangler 2.0, has killed several dwarves and a reindeer and that porcupine, I think. But also, like, you know, I mean, you have to redeem a second Highland Dwarf, if that's the case. All right, so Stone-a-Lot. Finds humor in most situations and is not a private person, freely shares details of his life, and is very greedy. Oh yeah, so my plan for this fort is to take demons from the underworld and put them on the surface. Because Lamau. That's my hope. He's not a private person, and he freely shares details of his life. He's very greedy, and he has a calm demeanor. He tends to avoid any physical confrontations, and he works to square this natural tendency with his respect of martial prowess. He is not particularly interested in what others think of him, and he has a tendency towards forming deep and emotional bonds with others. And he doesn't tend to hold on to grievances. And he finds helping others emotionally rewarding, and doesn't often feel lustful. And he often feels lustful. There we go. He doesn't often feel envious of others, and often is cheerful and sometimes acts without deliberation. He inhales sharply when he's angry and needs alcohol to get through the working day and doesn't really care about anything anymore. Do you still alive? I think Lobster's still alive. Let me check. Personally sees the whole pursuit of art as silly. Dreams of mastering a skill. He likes malachite and lay pewter, as well as gray chalcedony and chestnut wood. Green glass, snail shell, and the color brass. Parakeet men for their ability to speak, the sound of the carmine musics, and the sight of the saffron of trotting. When possible, prefers to consume strawberry plants, quinoa beer, and flax flour, and kumquats, and absolutely hates moon snails. His hair is extremely long, and he has a broad body. His wife and only son live here, and he has a very large family, which, thankfully, we're smart enough to not move here. We also worship a good number of deities. in regards to Lobster, Lobster is still alive and is a miner these days, is a professional mechanic still, and is currently consuming a Forgotten Beast meat roast, which contains Forgotten Beast, minced crocodile tallow, minced giant tallow, minced giant cave toad meat, and minced cave crocodile egg, and Forgotten Beast meat. How there are even more migrants with this danger? I don't know. We didn't get migrants for like three and a half years. Zerdes? So good question. How are there? I don't know. You tell me. They seem kind of dumb, if you ask me. I mean, I wouldn't move here. So they're gonna stop constantly while mining this out, but I'll do what I can. So elves accept leaves, fruits, plants, and plant products in the form of dye. Does that include wood dye? Rumrusher? I'm kind of presuming it does based on your statement here, but... You didn't test wood yet? Okay. Trying to find any way to sneak wood into their caravans. Are we... I mean, it is important information to know. Especially because I'm probably going to have to make a tutorial for this. This is also like a bad time for me to make tutorials. Uh-oh, it begins. We just lost a bunch of dwarves, and because of the amount of combat logs on the surface... I never actually have a chance to memorialize the dwarves before they all disappear from the logs, and then I have to wait until the ghosts show up, or like manually skim through the whole list, and fuck that. How the heck do you get it back? Make a pedestal and assign it to the pedestal. Try that, because I don't think you can dump them. But I seem to recall that working. We are running out of graveyard space. It's more just I'm picky about paving it. It's honestly mostly that. Okay, I've got another memorial over there. Did I not queue up one for Lorbam? Thought I did. Swear I did. Okay. Must have misclicked. That's an emote combo, Lobster. Holy yak. Yeah, we gotta eat some of them, actually. They've finally had an opportunity to kind of get going a little bit, but should butcher a bunch of the adult ones. Just so that I don't run out of food supply on them. Jack the Abominable Smoke Zombie is going. There we go. Can get rid of that child ghost, and let's make 10 more slabs. Because we're going to need those. Rock slab. All right, let's jump down. I'm also going to need to get rid of all these bodies. Get rid of this. I'm actually just going to tell him to fucking dump all this stuff. Just get rid of it. Okay. This is all getting done up here, so I can dig through this. And you know what? Let's just ignore most of this on the side. This will be plenty of space. Do I shear and milk them before I slaughter them? Well, there's no real reason to shear the animals because you get the hair that they had on them anyway. Do I milk them? No, I could care less. Generally, anyway. I mean, we've got plenty of foodstuffs right now. That's not an issue. Food variety is not really the concern here. Drink variety is, but food variety not so much. Let's just make rock blocks. And these two. So I'm going to need to move this. Okay, let's see what we can do. Let's do some of these. Let's start making cloth. Super Sheep! Thank you very much for the 2nd month. Welcome back. The other thing I gotta do, actually, is I gotta go up to here. Okay, I don't have any dimple cups right now. Let's make us a new farm field. And also do some harvesting, I think. Because I've got dimple cups kind of everywhere, actually. And should probably get those out and into the fort. I'm also going to go over to here. Just double check what's in this. D-Y-E. No dye. Okay, so this is all I have in the pre-new update game. So if you don't generate a new world, this is what you'll have. You'll have cabbage, carrot, eggplant, onion, peanut shell, red spinach, rice husk, and sorghum leaf. Dye. 7,000 food too much? If you have to ask the question, I think you know the answer. One dwarf eats a meal, it's like once or twice a quarter, right? It's like every 3 weeks or something, or every 4 weeks they eat. They don't eat that much. That is a lot of food. That, like, a lot of food. Like, a lot of food. I think right here, I'm just gonna go make a dye. It's interesting. All of the dye are available in these stockpiles, but they're not available to make. That's kind of funny. I mean, you could just stop cooking for a while and sell food for a bit. I don't know. It's way easier. Like, one of the bigger sources of lag from just what I've seen from user feedback and the way people play this game, one of the bigger sources of lag in fortresses in this game is actually people overbuilding their fortresses, like just building too much, like building way more than you would ever need. Which, you know, because it's fun. I get it. I'm just going to throw one of these over here for a bit and just get rid of some of these blocks. Or boulders, rather. And Gelder Reindeer. Oh no, Pudding! Although your name is the King of Pudding, so I feel like you should just have like a huge supply of pudding in your fort. That would very much check out. That would check out the most, in fact. Actually, something else I'm going to do. I'm just going to say, do this at 1. do this at one shot max. You can't help it if I have 200 of every furniture in stockpiles. I mean, that's why you're supposed to trade with people, but like... Okay, so this is going to be for dye, in theory. Also, another thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make more barrels. Let's make 25 barrels. Let's make bags out of silk. Let's make 50 bags. Let's do that. I'm also going to pause all of my clothing for a minute here. Because I've got a lot of clothing that are getting worked on. And I need to get all caught up on this stuff. Keep coming in with world gen changes. This is a historically consistent thing, Vakrak. Worlds consistently have small things that require changes, but usually I think the best way to do it for the average player, unless you're really into just experimenting and messing with things on a small scale and modding the game, the best way to go about it is to just play a fort and play a world until you see an update where you're like, okay, I need that. But I will say, yeah, I guess the dye stuff needed new changes. Most of the time when new content is added, you do need to generate a new world to get that new content, unless it's like a more under the hood thing. But like, you do have access to the new dye stuff, you just don't have all of it. Thigh cut, the glassmaker is taken by a Feymood. I was gonna go make something with glass, I presume. Let's just pause this. Pause these. Actually, let's just cancel all these. Need the extra hands. So you're doing that. We're also going to need more logs, probably. But you are working on barrels. Also, these caverns are currently, like, non-accessible, if I'm not mistaken, due to a forgotten beast. But we will need to get out into here sooner than later. Also, Metroid! Thank you very much for the 10th month. Welcome back. And Budmer, hey. You usually just set the work order decorator stud with X if you have too much of that thing. That's also a way to do it, yeah. It's a really good way to get rid of blocks or other things. And also to condense crafting jobs into less crafting jobs. Wait, are you the one with the rock slab task now? Which should be fine, actually. See how that strange mood is doing? Uh-oh. Oh, right. Okay, you're a glass maker. And I don't think... Well, I certainly don't have glass in the fort, let me tell you. But there's a chance that that trade caravan that I stole stuff from had glass. Can you make bone gems? That's a good question. Yep, large bone gem. Just large bone gems, though. In what way, King of Pudding? You thought you saw lumps of raw glass? It's certainly possible that there's lumps of raw glass in this map. But it's also certainly possible that there isn't. Must have tanned hides. I mean, like, raw. Okay, so there's raw glass in these, yeah. What do you need? Rock blocks, tanned hides. Rock blocks. Raw green glass. Oh, okay. Well, I suppose we let them try. I suppose we let them try. So you are Thigh-Cut the Glassmaker. I'm just seeing how... Ooh, that's... This... There seems to be like a kind of clear straight line right here, so let's just go like there, maybe? But I don't know, man. I don't know. Mina here seems to be going to go pull the lever. Also, the frame rate got a lot better from yesterday, by the way. I'm actually going to turn the frame rate down. Yesterday, I was, like, struggling to hold 50. Nothing has changed. I'm at 80 flat now. Has anybody else gotten a frame rate update? Let's go back down to 60. What else do you need? Is there more than one raw green glass? Did I not open it up all the way? It's open. It's open. It's open. Dwarf IDK. I've got... Okay, fuck it. Whatever. You know what? I'm just not going to worry about this dwarf. I'm going to do the classic sin of wall them in. And just not worry about it. Because I currently feel that it is more important to keep the fort alive. Aren't raw glass chunks something that's an absolute bitch to fulfill? No, not really. Not really. They're no worse than anything else. Hold up. Just double check this. Double check this. That's all seeds. And double check this. Okay, there shouldn't be any... Actually, hold on a second. They're not cooking with dye, are they? No, okay. Just wanted to double check. Okay, let's also make a... Burn. Let's make 4 of them. And I'm gonna go over here and make a dyer. Tunnel tube barrel. Fancy bucket. And I'm gonna go over here and do this. Closing the app and reopening the fort can cause frame rate to improve. I'll say this, I don't think I've ever had that happen in a noticeable way, so this would be a first for me if that is a thing. I know that pausing and unpausing can cause it to jump forward briefly, same as saving, but Rexar, hello. Sorry, I've been very, like, focused on what I'm reading and not looking at either chat, really. Did you miss anything big happening? There's a new patch out, Kitty Phone. That's basically it. There is a new patch, so dyes have been updated, and if you generate a new world, you'll have a trillion new dye options. They've also changed how stockpiles work for cloth, so that they're much more direct. So I'm going to make a stockpile here for cloth, and this is going to be for only dyed cloth and thread. Yes. And then this one, right here, is going to be for undyed cloth and thread. And then I'm going to delete this stockpile. Is what I'm going to do. And I think maybe stick a new stoneworker right here. I'm also going to deconstruct this clother shop. Is alunite walls and hazel floors? Oh, that's nifty. And setting up an only dyed fortress? I mean, it's better than an only dead fortress. Got a new stone cutter. Also going to get rid of you. And I'll leave that one over there. That one can stay. Kumil has given birth to a girl. We've got our second born baby in the fortress. Just use the official emotes, Odin, Abundance. If they're not showing up. Baby booming, indeed, Mina, indeed. You'll take a scholar or the happiest kid. I don't think I have any open scholars. Oh, no, I do. I have Rakust. If you'd like Rakust, I could give you Rakust. Although I think Rakust is the most upset dwarf in the fort. Or one of them. So if you'd like Rakust, I could give you Rakust. Otherwise, I could give you a kid transplanting. Although I'll double check. Let me check. Rakust. Yeah, pissed off. But like, you're pissed off because like troubled history, not because of like bad dwarf, if that makes any sense. You just have really bad PTSD, so you could bounce back from it if the frightened after being haunted by the dead goes away at some point. It's up to you, Transplanter Sage. And also, the world gen changes that were bugged are fixed now. So if you generate a new world now, supposedly everything should be fine. Although I DM'd Putnam to get a confirmation that that's the case, and the patch notes look like Forgotten Beast powers and such are now fixed, but I don't have a 100% confirmation on that. Scamble on Rakist? Okay. I mean, let's be honest. You're gambling on everybody in this fort. She is sometimes cruel and dislikes helping others. She almost never feels discouraged, and she likes to take it easy. She is grateful when others help her out, and she tries to return favors. She doesn't handle stress well, and she needs alcohol to get through the working day. She does not mind being outdoors, at least for a time, and doesn't really care about much anymore. She dreams of crafting a masterwork someday, and personally believes that the idea of war is utterly repellent, and would have peace at all costs. She would have the world operate in complete harmony without the least bit of strife or disorder, and believes that it is important to conceal emotions and refrain from complaining, and values hard work. She likes mica, pig iron, rock crystal, giant warthog leather, and giant snail shell. Pigtail paper, the color scarlet, figurines, floodgates, rings, rabbits for their ears, and the words of the turquoise canyon and the sight of the saffron of trotting and impossible prefers to consume, bushmaster, dwarven beer, bumblebee royal jelly, and absolutely hates lizards. What Metroid said is true, yes. And also, you've been pondering migratory patterns for quite some time, and discussing migratory patterns with Entropy, who also is one of my more stressed out dwarves. But you're both very content and, like, enthusiastic when talking about the stuff, so I'm kind of hoping you two can, like, I don't know, maybe become good friends or something. I mean, if I actually look at this, are you friends at all? You're a passing acquaintance with Entropy. And a passing acquaintance with... Yeah, so you're passing acquaintances currently, but maybe you two can become friends. That would be cool. Okay, so now let's see. Not dye cloth. Let's, So the thing I'm a little concerned about with this... Is there no make dye option on that? Uh-oh. Oh, I understand why now. Okay, so if you haven't made a new world, the option to make dyes doesn't exist here. So the only dyes you can make are the ones that are, like, crushed with querns and such. That makes a degree of sense. Like a non-zero amount of sense. I get that. Which would mean that in total I have what? Where did I get that list of dyes that were available? Dye cloth, nope. Got at least 10 midnight blue dye available. I've got dark green dye? Hold on. Oh, let me do this actually. Okay, so that's up here. Okay, I'm gonna do something a little silly. I can't go down here, because that would drop me into here. But where is this? It's right there. Okay, don't go down here. I'm going to dig right to here. Directly underneath this. Let's get rid of this. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to dig one here. Actually, I'm going to put a cage trap here. Fuck it. I'm going to dig right into this wall. I'm going to dig down here. One. And I'm going to channel up right here. Then I'm going to build a floor, or sorry, a wall piece right here, and a wall piece right here. And it should all just be right there. Then I'm going to leave it forbidden, and I'm going to dump a couple buckets of water on it to clean all the crap off of it. Yeah, Midnight Blue is Dimpled Eye. Yes, correct. That's about as safe as I can think to do this. So let's channel up here to bring this stuff down. Wish us luck, chat. Channel up here, which will drop it down another layer. So it's now down into here. Now there's a hole in the ceiling. So it's a race against time. We got shale bricks coming. Actually, what's closest? "44 tiles away? Eh. Now we wait. Let's just pause a lot of tasks real quick. Now it's suspended. Well, that's not good. Tisk. Now the game's saving. Oh, did I pause it? Shit. I thought I didn't see that. Good timing on that save. Wish me luck. I need it, chat. Sweating. Sweating, sweating.
Good luck.
Thank you, True Freak. We need it. They're in the fort. Where is it? I just saw it. Ah, literally they are in the fort. Right next to all of my livestock. That might be game, actually. Trying to think. Do I have a way out of this? I have to go through here. So basically what I need to do to have a chance at remedying this is forbid all of this. Everything's forbidden. I need to go here. I need to cancel every task. I need to pause all of these. I need to turn off this burrow. I need to go basically here. Make a meeting area. Add a new burrow. And put everybody into it. That is all I can do. We have to evacuate. I need to get rid of every meeting zone up here. Hopefully they cancel tasks quick enough. Because right here, I don't even see it anymore. There it is. Fractabellum is right next to it. So's Crabapple. It begins. Unless there... Oh my god. Crabapple managed to kill it, but Crabapple has turned. Fighting with the... Okay, so retired Navy vet. One of my soldiers. Comes running in. Hasn't been turned yet. Still a Spear Dwarf. Sends the zombie dwarf flying. And is now dueling with the smoke zombie. Navy has now turned. But has managed to kill the second dwarf who turned. And is now throwing corpses and shit everywhere. Here is a dwarf named Eustace. Imush, the Grim Messiah, is firing bolts. A Kenton plays is about to fall. 2 more dwarves have fallen. The sheep is falling. The other thing that I could hope happens is that it decides to go this way. If it just decides to go that way. I'm also going to get rid of this so that the dwarves don't try and repasture them. We don't want them to go down the stairs, chat. We want them to keep going up here. Because down into here is where you die. Like stone a lot right there. I'm also going to try and station all the squads down here. Fuck. Well, he continues to fight. He appears to have lost part of his arm fighting with Mina, the Diagnoser, and Cole. McManus has fallen. Retired Navy vet has picked his spear back up and has gone back above, which is where we want him to go. Go through that fucking door. Are there any zombies down in here? No. 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 Okay. Okay, hold on. If he decides to go this way, we're in the clear. If he goes out this way. Because he does have a way back in here. It's very indirect. But he does have a way back in. He needs to go through that door. He needs to go get caught in one of those cage traps. Just needs to keep heading the other direction. Needs to go west. West is the direction this dwarf needs to go. West. As it stands, this is actually kind of incredible. I have a fully steel-armored zombie. The problem is other zombies still have a way in. Right here. So I need to unsuspend this. And I need to turn this burrow back on. This is maybe very dumb, but I need to do it. And I need to hope that he goes this way. Because if he goes this way... Actually, hold on. Let's lock him in my... Go back. He can't break down doors. He's just a dwarf. Okay. Snail was found dead, sure. We are now hoping that he doesn't have another way out of here, which I don't think he does. And that there's no other zombies currently in the fort. Somehow my founder's still alive. I also need to go through and unforbid everything. Now let's just jump up to here. Suspend and unsuspend this. And unsuspend this. I'm just going to go to this, and I'm going to say planters only selected. Do this, cool. I'm going to take all of the squads off of stationing. Snail was found dead. Come on. Oh, I see the problem. Everybody's harvesting. Let me just do this. Standing, hauling. I do think we have this. I think we're coming out of it. Only farmers harvest. What? Okay, one, why did you get forbidden again? Did you forbid the pile of contaminated stuff? Oh, right. Yeah, no, you're right. Although it's not necessarily contaminated, I'm just being overly cautious. Okay, so now we just need to wait for this to get done. That's quite literally just me being overly cautious, Darius. Also, one hell of a win, Gazoom. God damn. Holy shit. We did it. We fucking did it. I mean, yeah, in the grand scheme of things, it was just a minor setback. We were at how many dwarves before? Was it 56? Why is everything forbidden? Chat, give Dogma the TLDR, please. Please and thank you. Whew. Evil weather turns you into zombie if you touch it. Watch the first 5 minutes of my most viewed video. I don't know who died. I know Snail died. The thing is, the reason I don't know who died, I have to mouse over everybody, is because there's so many combat logs from the surface, like if I just erase this and then reallow it, these are just updating like as fast as a log can update. And because the game can only hold 2,000 logs at a time, it just erases who's dead within seconds of them dying. So, Mac Manus died, Stone-A-Lot died, Potpourri died, Snail died. This is all just me guessing, I don't know. It looks like Electra died. Retired Navy vet's a zombie now. A lot of my yaks died. Fractabellum died. Meng died. Crabapple died. I think that's everybody. But I'm not going to be able to give you an exact list. I mean, Navy vet's officially retired. He lived into his name. And he lives in my military area now. I mean, how many dwarves did he kill? A good few. And how skilled is he now? He's now a great fighter and an expert spear dwarf. Whew. Is your dwarf still alive? I think so, bub. Yes, your dwarf is in fact still alive. So I'm gonna say 10 tombs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I really would like some dwarves to just go dig. Get all this done. Now the fort has a super soldier? That is very true, yes. That is indeed very true. And I could just let him roam the caverns and level up. And then eventually recatch him. Oh, I lost Crabapple, who was one of my legendary miners, yeah. Which is why I also just went and reassigned a bunch of miners. This isn't a... No, it's not an aquifer layer. All right, let's just set this as a pit pond. Dump some water down into here. And let's just use shale. Good news is I probably don't need to make bedrooms now. We also still have the founder. Romanoid's still alive. Insect Devourer, Foul G, Pebble, Dig Dugo.
Woohoo!
The Grim Messiah took it on. This dwarf? Well. What was their name? What is their name? This dwarf. Imush. This dwarf fired a bunch of bolts at the thing. Which was probably like a solid bit of training. Also just saw a dead dwarf somewhere else. Where was that? Oh, this one. Eustuth. – 11 sounds like it's probably pretty up there with accuracy, yeah. The problem is, I'm gonna have to go through and do it manually. I think. Because otherwise it's just going to go to any dwarf that doesn't have a tomb yet. So if I dump a couple buckets of water into this, that'll sort that out. So let's just go here and memorialize Snail. And just go through the bodies as we spot them. Used to be alive, yeah. McManus died. I also need to make more coffins. All right, chat. So if you tuned in during all of that, that was me trying to get... Uh-oh. Well, I didn't expect that to become ice, but that was me trying to get a single... set of loot from a... wagon, and then placing it here with the hope of it having items in it that I could make use of. And one zombie got into the fort. One. And now there's a second one still in the fort. So that was the result of a singular zombie making it in. But these ain't no normal zombies, so if they were normal zombies, we would have just killed it. But these aren't normal zombies. They spread the infection by biting or breaking the skin, similar to were creatures, and in my experience are significantly more dangerous. So if I just leave these... Crabapple died, correct. Udil, I don't know. Potpourri died and was a very happy dwarf. I don't know about that dwarf. I think Mina died, didn't they? Yes, in that fight. Okay. I had a fully steel-clad dwarf get infected. Because here's the thing, right? They are constantly expelling this noxious ooze. If you get the noxious ooze on your skin, you become one. So it doesn't matter if you're bite-proof, claw-proof, or damage-proof. If you get the stuff on your skin, you become one. Biting is just the fastest, most efficient way I've seen them transfer. Retired Navy vet is completely clad in full steel gear and got infected. So, yeah, no, there's a reason why this is the worst map I've ever played. Also, my founder's been reelected as mayor. No, this is not false advertising here. This is me trying to be as genuine as possible with the difficulty of this map. I'm also going to make a stockpile for dwarf corpses. Oh, shit. I did that backwards. There, just dwarves. So I can see the others and get them memorialized. This should all be clear now. Yeah, it's all just coated with ice now. So we can all claim this. Which means I got a bunch more cloth. I've got some quicklime. As well as a shit ton of bags. Also sandbags. Hold up. Is that Strange Mood Dwarf still there? Yeah, you are. Let me just knock down these walls. Delete this door and see if I can save your life. Might as well try and save this dwarf since we're here. Oh, actually, don't deconstruct that. Just do one of these. As the chrysalids from original XCOM? Yeah, kinda. Yeah, they're kind of like XCOM chrysalids. Not a bad comparison, actually. So what else do you need? Rock blocks, tanned hides. Rock blocks. Green, raw green glass. We're just gonna try making a singular raw green glass right here. In other news, they want a stoneworker guild. Right, yeah, because I deleted all of my zones, didn't I? This was the bearded fields. This was my temple. This was just a dining hall. This was a hospital. This was my tavern, which was half meeting area and half dining hall. This down here is the Engraver Guilds. Where did I put the... Ah, this is the Stoneworkers Guild, I think. Irons of Oil, I think, right? Yeah, the Stoneworker Guild. And accept. They're just as bad? I mean, I remember losing to the chrysalids. I don't exactly remember how bad the chrysalids were. If I'm being honest. I remember them being bad. Don't know how bad. Okay, so Cole. What was your last name, Cole? Let's do a Kenton plays. Oops, nope, that's a garbage dump. That's not what I wanted. That's what I wanted. Of course, like, a lot of the dwarves I lost are really happy, or were really happy when they died, so I'm just like, man, you were a happy dwarf, too. Just, like, ruined your life. Let's go Stone-A-Lot, who literally just got named. Let's go McManus. You Hasgrave. Okay, who else do I have? Cole. MAF. Cole M. This is literally me just trying to get this done as quickly as possible, so. Because that's the only way to do this in a way that'll keep the dwarves somewhat not pissed off about this whole thing. That dwarf must have just lost an arm. Brack. Okay, what was your actual name? Sodell. How come you're not on the list? Huh. Sometimes I wonder if, like, if things go so bad that they just, like, get booted from the faction. Wow, on the Archcrystal video? That was a minute ago. Things have changed a lot since those days, but glad people are still watching it. Why? Possibly, Caesardes will figure that out in more detail now, I guess. This is the first time they've gotten into the fort since starting it. Some migrants have arrived. Beats me as to why, but I can pull this lever. I'm sure they're going to get a lovely welcome party. That's one. That's two. Oh, you may turn. Oh, no. Okay. Clear. 3. 4. A pupper. Oh, boy. The old fort got so many, must be severely overpopulated or something. I mean, this faction has 10,000 population that we're playing. Uh-oh. It's a water buffalo smoke zombie. Uh-oh. Well, that starts to go bad. Run, Dwarf! Run! Where did that one who just sprinted away go? I mean, today hasn't been boring. I will say that. Oh, now I need to make a temple. It was a peasant, wasn't it? I didn't see where they went. Oh, well, there's a zombie baby. I'm sure that's unrelated. There's also just a bunch of, like, there's a calf abominable zombie bust. Baby llama was struck down. There's this water buffalo. Dubstep beats. Can you turn around, Dwarf? Fuck that last Dwarf. Close the thing. Sucks to be that peasant if they go, but I think it was Erdim. I saw somebody fighting named Erdim. Well, I guess you made it in somehow, even though you're injured. What were you fighting with? Huh. Since finding the Arch Crystal video, thanks for keeping Dwarf Fortress live. Someone's trying, I guess. So currently saving up to purchase the game on Steam. I mean, you can play the free version until then, but thank you for taking the time to tune in. I appreciate it. Okay, so who else do we have? We got Meng UM. Yeah, I think, like, dwarves that turn can only be memorialized. So let's see. I'm also going to jump back down to this strange mood, go here, and just go green glass, raw. Raw. 2 of them. And we'll see if that satisfies you. Name one of the new dwarves Hepta. Do you have beard preference? I also need a new diagnoser. Can just be a peasant, that's fine. Hepta. What's the name come from, if I can ask? He becomes completely helpless. Oh, I can also oh, no, I can't accept that just yet. He becomes completely helpless in stressful situations. He lives at a high energy kinetic pace, and he actively avoids exciting or stressful situations. He strongly prefers discussions of ideas and abstract concepts over handling specific practical issues. He rarely is happy or enthusiastic, and he is conflicted by this as he values parties and merrymaking in the abstract. He is somewhat quarrelsome, and he is bothered by this since he values friendship. And he is trusting. He tends to be a little wasteful when working on projects and can occasionally lose focus on the matter at hand. He needs alcohol to get through the working day and is getting used to tragedy. Dreams of raising a family and personally respects power and doesn't really see the point of working hard and does not care about fairness. And dreams of raising a family. He likes kimberlite and pig iron as well as cat's eye and crystal glass, barrels, scepters, and giant axe blades, and reindeer for their large herds. Giant polar bears for their strength and cashew trees for their fruit. The words of the wavy grower? The words of the wavy grower. Okay. And the sight of the saffron of trusting, and when possible prefers to consume cabbages and plum wine, and absolutely hates blood gnats. Did I remake the library? I did. What else can I see about you? His ability to grasp is somewhat impaired. He becomes completely helpless in stressful situations and lives at a high energy kinetic pace. He has no kills and used to be a member of the Relic of Deeps and the Friendly Chambers. So he lived in 2 prior fortresses. He's married to Kumil, who's his wife, and barely friggin' made it into the fort, man. Barely. I won't do Amina 2, because that dwarf, like, just died, right? So, you're allowed to name another dwarf, but don't name 2 dwarves the same thing the same day. 1, because that's just confusing for me. And 2, because let them rest at least for a little bit. Okay, is this all bits of those dwarves that got obliterated? It seems like it. We'll just get those dumped. Meng. And Fractabellum. Let's follow Fractabellum's corpse and see them get dumped. The zombies get a Viking funeral, I suppose. And I had a dwarf tantrum just now. No! I cut the glassmaker when start craving mad. Well, I guess making green glass wasn't enough. Somehow the population still went up, though, so there is that. Rip. Goodbye, dwarf. Goodbye. And I will also dump all this, because all this is damaged clothing. Okay. The next thing I gotta do is I gotta skim this. Let's just set this to melt. And jump back down here. Now unpause your melt metal object job. And actually just go unpause a whole bunch of jobs. We'll let them do a bunch of dumping first. I will say you mostly do pre-Augustan Latin and Bible vignettes. What, for names? I guess. Also, I completely missed that Hepta was a dwarf, or not a dwarf, a person in chat. In case it's not obvious, what time is it? I basically haven't looked at chat for the last hour. I had to go from, like, passively playing this fort and waiting for migrants to, oh fuck, full fucking focus, nothing else. But things seem to be calming down a bit now, so that's good. Let's finish those bedrooms, because I need those bedrooms. Like, I went from, like, 0 to 11 today so far. So let's keep it at, like, 40 so that I can read chat more consistently. Vicar asked you about their name, and I don't know if it's the area of Latin is that area. Yeah, well, Vicar's a hell of a character in chat, let me tell you. Although, speaking of names, I haven't seen Jesus in a minute. Jesus kind of went and vanished. Maybe Jesus went and got interested in somebody else. Sag. I feel betrayed. Left behind moment? Yeah, pretty much. He'll return in 3 days. It's been like 2 weeks. Though. You're also... Jellyfish, you, and somebody in the YouTube chat made that joke simultaneously. Have I tried Against the Storm? I tried it when it first went into early access and kind of was meh on it, but people seem to love that game. I don't know too much about its development or anything. Aside from that, people seem to love that game. Bed. Do I have any logs? That's actually the next question. Currently, it appears that I do not have any wood. Okay, hold on. I need to search for beasts real quick. Okay, so there is this forgotten beast over here. Moldcast. Who has poison vapors. I need to kill that because I need wood. So I'm going to go line my militia up. Or what's left of them. Right here. Oh. In order to do that, I also need to go around this. Because currently, my way through is blocked. Because as they say, the way is shut. It was made by those who are dead. The way is, in fact, shut. May as well go down here and just gather a bunch of this. And remove dump on those, because there's no reason to leave those dumping. And then let's hack down these trees, hack down these trees, hack down these trees, hack down this. Hack down this, hack down this, hack down this. Okay. Now, where is this beast? They're all the way the heck over here. Which I don't have access to. But what I can do, actually, is I can dig through here. Why don't I just do that instead? Oh, you're going to go sleep. Okay, actually, hold up. I need to not do this right now. I need to wait until all 3 of my soldiers are right here. How are things going? Fine now. Yeah, just fine. Everything's been peachy. How are you? Definitely fine. Definitely, yes. Most certainly. Everything has been fine. Oh, it's possible. Yeah. I mean, like... I actually... Now I'm just curious. What can I get the frame rate up to now? Because I've got it set to 60 currently. If I just go to... I always forget where this fucking setting is. Let's just go 200 and see what it goes up to. 80, 90, 100, 110, 120, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. Okay, now it's going down. That I've unpaused. $90. Yeah, it's holding at about 90. That's kind of wild, actually. Let's go back down to 60. It's definitely running a lot better than it was, though. So the idea here is I'm just going to throw a door right there. Bring this squad down here. It's a very underpowered squad. You're a little slow. Are you weak or something? Very weak. Uh-huh. Just need this door done, then we'll dig through this. It's a good thing I butchered a bunch of my yaks right at the start, hey? Is it Kiddo here? Yeah, it's Kiddo. Oh. Eric's gotten closer again. Would you look at that? He's got no ability to stand. He's also very fractured. I think he's also made of glass, is he not? Yeah, he's composed of clear glass, but we have steel, so we should be okay. Let's just follow him until he turns around, which should be pretty soon. Oh, he's chasing a Gorlak. And then I should be able to wait for you to clear this. Lock that. Follow Romanoid. Chat room, I need a round of something for good luck for these dwarves. Oh. We got the Woo, who was dueling with the creature, who's now thirsty and bleeding. And Romanoid, who's also fighting with the creature. The Woo appears to be falling, but Romanoid has killed the creature. Rest in peace to Woo. You fell well. Jeez, and I shall melt down all of your gear, because it's all heavily damaged. And, over here, I'm going to unlock this and put a drawbridge in. And also put 2 cage traps in here. And I'm going to go up to here and just go bunk. Because, my God, we need it. Okay. And, you're going to turn around and hopefully that poison vapor wasn't so bad. What, better than becoming a zombie? That I'll agree with. I mean, is covered in Forgotten Beast goo. No problems just yet. Grab soap. It's now clean. I'm going to make a squad here. And I'm going to see if I can get some more dwarves into here. I'm not going to be super picky right now. I will move dwarves in and out as they become happy or upset with the task. You don't seem to have access to a full set of armor, so to this dwarf right here, Avus. You can just have metal armor. I've never seen that before. A Forgotten Beast stuff that turns you into a zombie. So that would be a first for me. So I need to make a temple to the Humble Coven, which is a bit annoying. But what I think I'm going to do actually is cut this in half. Make the upper half a temple to the Humble Coven. Temple. The god of peace and death. Oma's died days. The Chapel of Bone. So I need to get the value of this up quite a bit more. Should be able to put a few items in here to increase the value. Pretty dramatically, I would think. I think I have an offering place or 3. I do. And I should accept this. Man, today I was just like, yep, we're going to get started on working on a new thing, and I'm going to try and get down below to the too deep and greedily area, blah, 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 and then bam, all this happens. Although, we've recovered rather quickly. We are recovering at a pretty good rate, so there is that. I'm also going to go pedestal and place a pedestal in here. I made a 16 by 16 embark to cross the ocean onto an island, and the frames dropped to basically 0 immediately. Yeah, they should recover pretty quick, though. It's just like the initial load on those really large maps that take forever. Because it's like locating all the animals that could possibly enter and exit the map and checking and loading a lot of stuff into memory. I do find that that sort of thing speeds up after a while. Okay, sweet. Transplanter Sage is now the Sacred Kindness. And the Wu, the Spear Dwarf, has been found dead. Which is a damn shame, but... Melt a metal object. This is a standard task now. And our amount of metals is slowly expanding. I don't know if it's worth doing that for here, but I could go for this one as well. Maybe I should. Maybe I should. I don't know. Oh, also the Wu now needs a coffin. Hey, chat. I've drank, like, 2 mugs of coffee and a Forgotten Beast just arrived. I'm gonna go take a piss. I will be back in a moment. Abba-dabba-dabba-dabba-doo. Suddenly a Forgotten Beast out of nowhere. I mean, I know exactly where it came from, right there. The caves. Caverns. Evil monster. Scream profusely. Profusely. Darmond, hello! Are you calling chat a bunch of mushrooms? Is that really what you're doing? YouTube folks, don't forget to leave a like on the stream, by the way. It's 100 plus of you. And like a quarter of the likes. What's the everything that's happened today? We got a fan that I need to turn down because I'm chilly. Okay, so zombie got into the fort and a bunch of people died. We now have a fully armored super soldier though, so that's a plus. We got a Forgotten Beast killed. We got a bunch of items into the fort. The game patched and new dyes have been added, so I'm trying to expand that. We got a migrant wave somehow, and now there's a Forgotten Beast on the map. Another one. But it's on a layer where it can't get to me, so we're fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Amoxus is a skinless ankylosaurid. It has a pair of fan-like antennae and a bloated body. Beware, it's poison bite. We're all orcs now? Does that mean that I get mind powers? I'm going to use telepathy to become the greatest inventor of all time. I feel like people would just figure out a way to like make self-driving cars function if that was the case, and I would be sitting here going like, "Oh God, I didn't even want those." You could hook up grates and bars to a lever and a door and have a door in place to get stuff to airlock it. I mean, no, okay, so like I could totally like make the zombies fight Forgotten Beasts. It's just not a huge priority unless the Forgotten Beasts are a threat. This one's not really a threat. But even then, like, it's not a huge threat. Or it's not a huge priority. It's a priority against demons. But not so much other things right now. In my opinion. I'm not prioritizing that very much at the moment. Oh, for the airlock on the surface. Oh, totally. Sure. I thought you were talking about, like, making zombies fight things. I mean, I could, but we just did the one, so I'm just going to get all this stuff redistributed and then worry about the other stuff first. Although, right now, the actual priority is I just really would like to get that dyeing industry up and running without the fort constantly being at threat of dying. Shocker. So let's just focus on getting our clothing industry upgraded, shall we? And bedrooms. Have I thought of doing a modded fort at some point? The thought's always there. The thought is always there. I am actively looking at the workshop, and I have been for a very long time. I mean, not at the current second, but I do follow mods that get posted. For some reason, some people like to say that I'm against mods, which I'm not in any way, so. Now that we have wood as well, I can work on those new bedrooms as well. You know, it's just because mods came up. Something that I think is kind of funny for me though, is like in the eras when Dwarf Fortress only updated like every couple of years. I think I played more modded forts because the updates were so infrequent. But now that they're like monthly, it's like I'm even less inclined to get attached to a modded save. A lot of couples in that one. I want dying without dying. No, other way around. Oi, I want dying without dying. Please. What is the current fort defense? The surface defends itself. And underground, lock the doors mostly. It's like I had a little local army, but they got kind of Shrek'd out of existence. Okay. We're caught up on bedrooms with one to spare. Fuck me if I know. How? You're asking me to predict the future. More or less with that question, lazy man. I have no idea. It's going to take as long as it takes for people to do it. There's a lot of dies in the new update. I mean, this screen is a pretty good example. If I go here and type in die, these are all the new dies. But you can now filter via undied and died, and you can also specify a lot of things. But because this isn't a new world, I can't make any of the new dies in here. I can only make the ones that use querns or millstones. Tickets is what you're looking for, lazy man? So I want to say dimple cups are probably the only, like, die I'm actually going to have access to in this fortress, period. Oh, they're all getting moved. That's good. A quern? Wait. So you want me to name this anti-cheat? Ilmirin? Are they descriptive or visual? By default, they only show up on the icons up here and in here when you look at this, but there's a setting right here under games where you can scroll down and then enable worn clothing colors where they will show up if you have a variety of colors. Although I don't know if I would ever really enable that outside of screenshots. Choose a stockpile. Choose a stockpile. Also need bags. Just empty bags. Everyone loves Quernel anti-cheat. Oh, I see. I get it. There you go. You know, it's actually kind of funny how quickly people have gotten okay with kernel level anti-cheat as far as I'm concerned. Let's just start milling some plants. And then I'm just going to go here and just type in mill plants. We'll just say do it monthly. We'll just do 20. The real question is, do I have anywhere I could easily farm? Let's just go here real quick and... there's just a hole in the ground right there. Could do right here. Dwarves are colored by profession, yes. Like, if you go here, stoneworkers are like that white color. Miners are kind of a gray. Woodworkers are yellow. Gem cutters are green. Animal caretakers are a different color of green. Furnace operators and smiths are like the gray. Soldiers are their own unique colors. Peasants are just kind of a bluey, clearish color. Most of the dwarves are very busy. It's time for you to come out and say what up. Well, hello! It's good to see you, Mr. Lamb Lambs. Why do I normally manually assign bedrooms? So that I know how many more dwarves still need bedrooms and I know how many more bedrooms I need to make. I'm looking at YouTube chat at the moment. If you're talking about cannons using minecarts, people have been doing that since like 2009. USSR and YouTube chat. People have been doing that for a long time. The amount of unrotten dyed items is greater than 10. Just do 5. Although, I guess that's not going to be specific. Then here, I'm just going to put a couple looms in place. You can mill into dye. Welcome to the wiki, my friend. Let's see if it's been updated. Yes, it has, actually. This was like 4 or 5 originally. Some people were saying that rice dye was a thing, but I've never seen that before. So these were the ones that existed previously that I'm familiar with. And this is what we have now. Although, you have to generate a new world to be able to make the new dyes. So I only have access to the stuff that can be made at mills. Because that's the only old dye that was available. I'm actually just going to fucking throw out that quicklime because I don't want it. Gypsum plaster, you can just go into the hospital. Spending hours trying to find silver bar. Yeah, but like most of the trees can be made into dyes now. Which is interesting. It's like something else to do with wood. And there was some testing being done in chat earlier. I don't know if more has been done since, which was... more... Let's just do 20. And you are going to... mill plants. Oh, so that should be going. Should be. Okay, that one queued up. Now you're queued up. Perfect. So I now should have a stockpile here for undyed cloth and a stockpile here for dyed stuff. Although actually, I'm going to make 2 of them. Dye cloth. Let's do 30. When the amount of unrotten dye items is greater than 5. It's going to take a little bit to climb. It massively increases the value of clothing, which helps satisfy the need to acquire an item. This pigtail cloth, if it wasn't dyed, it's value of 40. It's a higher value with dye. Some of the new dyes I was seeing values jump by like 100. So basically, it vastly increases the value of your clothing and gives you something to do, really. The reason I never really messed with it before, well, I have messed with it, but the reason I tended to avoid it was because I find that use only dyed cloth. Let's try that. The reason I tended to avoid it in the past was because I found that the way the stockpiles used to work, it was just more of a pain than it was worth. Like, it just wasn't worth the effort, really. However, that is kind of no longer the case because they've changed how the stockpiles give and take items, making them much more convenient, like significantly more convenient, which is kind of awesome, actually. So as long as they can maintain convenience, that is actively an awesome change. Offering letter printed on paper to piss the elves 3 times harder. I mean, you can't really give letters to people, but yeah, it's monetary value equal dwarf needs fulfilled quicker. So, like, if you can give 1 piece of clothing and to satisfy their need to acquire an item, that's better than giving them 4 pieces of clothing to satisfy their need to acquire an item because it's based on value, right? Have I seen necromancers summoning boogeymen? I haven't seen a necromancer summon something in, like, over a year, so no. I'm not like this all-seeing eye of, like, things. If somebody has footage of it, that would be cool. But wasn't it changed so that they no longer do that? Like, they're not supposed to be able to do that, right? Move in and summon horrors. Yeah, that's a thing that was changed a couple patches ago, right? Yeah, I haven't been near any necromancers in a while. A couple of years ago, I had a fort where I had a necromancer show up and summon a bunch of nightmares, but for some reason they were all friendly, and then they started making babies. And so I was like, well, My frame rate's getting bad because there's baby nightmares everywhere. I'm gonna burn the surface and kill them all. Anyway, it didn't kill them. It actually just burned the surface because they appeared to be, like, unburnable. So that was fun. Nightmares making babies is kind of hilarious. Yeah, it's like my brain when I'm sleeping. It's like, huh, so I hear you like nightmares. Have more fucking nightmares. It was a time. This was a while ago, though. This was like probably 2023. But then they kind of stopped doing that at all for a while. That's what they're supposed to do, Sotark. So Sotark in YouTube chat says, sadly they disappear when they don't have a combat target now. That's what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to disappear and not be a permanent entity on the map. They're supposed to be like a temporary summon that like recedes when the fight is over. So that's working as intended. You want nightmare children? I don't know. Play different video game then. Here's the thing. You say you do, but having done it, you don't. You can believe me or not and whine all you want, but you don't. Trust me, you don't. You don't want your game to be broken. Yeah, just try raising teenagers. There you go. You can have your own nightmare children. I mean, you could probably make own them, but they'll probably still disappear. They literally are temporary summons, though. That being said, Lua modding could probably fuck with that, right? Like if that's the thing, if that's the thing that you're looking for actively, that's probably something you could do, right? Children are already a nightmare. I mean, I'm not a parent. I'm not gonna say what is and what isn't a nightmare. Hold on a second. Are we re-dyeing the same cloth? It's midnight blue with dimple dye. Uh-huh. Okay, so you should be giving items to here. And taking items from here. And taking items from here. But like... It's like, I kind of want you to be dyeing silk, though. Doesn't feel anything after seeing Thykut's dead body. Excuse me? Oh, shit. Thykut died, I guess. It's like, I want you to be dyeing the silk, though. It's all relevant to what the map that I'm currently playing is. There we go. Now we're getting some silk up in here. Actually, no, I don't need this many. Let's just make some more clothes shops so we can clear the actual jobs quicker. But yeah, my favorite elevation to build at, just purely depends on the map that I'm playing that day. Let's also shrink this stockpile a little bit and embiggen this stockpile a little bit. There we go. So we're making a cave spider silk cloak. Yeah. There we go. The thread is midnight blue with dimpled eye. Dwarves are going to start claiming that now. So you've got a wool robe, but that's been there for a little bit. You're running around in a dress. You down here. You're getting new stuff. And I should be able to move this up to here, because this is all finished clothing. And then go down to here. Erase that. It's not all finished clothing, apparently. It should just be clothing. Now it's just clothing. I have no idea. Let's see. I mean, you can just screenshot that if you like. His very low cheekbones, his head is broad, his lips are thin, his ears are somewhat, his hair is light brown, his eyes are amethyst. Hopefully that answers your question. Clearly and concisely. But as far as cavern layers go, I do have a favorite cavern layer, and it's the one that has Bloodthorn in it. Whichever one has Bloodthorn in it is my favorite cavern layer. By default. Will always be the case. I love me some Bloodthorn. Bit of a fan of Bloodthorn, if I do say so myself. Well, seems to be working now. Get ourselves some millers. Actually kind of curious. Clearing through those clothings very quick, and that's only going to happen once a year. I may actually have to restrict the amount of silk that we make too. Also, does the library have more books in it now? It should. Because I think we actually have some more books upstairs. Is there anything funny on the surface? Yes. Funny in a cosmic sort of way. Funny in an, oh god, why sort of way. Unfortunately, a duckling duck was killed by a porcupine. Aren't you supposed to be done yearly? Maybe I'm multiple years behind. What about Bloodthorn, the color? It's red. I like bright red. Bloodthorn's one of my favorite colors in the game, yeah. That is the reason, is the color. I'm partial to the color of Bloodthorn. Speaking of being partial to the color of Bloodthorn, let's get all of this stuff cleared and filled in. Let's go down here. Make another stoneworker's shop. We're making rock blocks. How are we doing on that regard? We're still working on it. I think I may just let tasks run for a little bit. I might just let tasks run for a little bit. And see what's currently paused, because there's got to be something. And then let's also go up to here and type in bars. Got a decent enough amount of steel. Let's make pig iron and steel bars. But let's go 5. Oops, no, not 2. 5 and 5. 5. And type charcoal. 26. Okay, we're good. Good on that regard. And we're just going to construct a whole bunch of fucking buildings. Oh, also, I got to go back up to here and rebuild this pen pasture. And send all my yaks up here before they starve to death. We're just going to let tasks run for a little bit now. Just making sure that all these dwarves are enjoying the process of learning the military. Romanoids had better weeks in their life. Also going to check you and click this. See how we're doing for gear. Okay, so steel shields are what we want first. I think some ads are about to start, unless I just completely missed them. Hey, Krampus. Long time, dude. What's up? How you been? Some otters would like a round of beers, by the way. Apparently I have a semi-wild Crundle in the fort. So I'm just going to butcher some of these. Get this chat moving. No complaints here. Moods are generally pretty terrible, but doing what we can. Holy spokes as well. It's been a while. Pretty big patch out today. Dyeing stuff is a lot more convenient now, because you can specify dyed or not dyed stockpiles now, which is crazy, actually. So if I tell you to only take stuff from this stockpile, then they'll only end up with dyed cloth in theory. We'll have to wait to see this work. And also, you know, there's hundreds of other dye that have been added. Because you can mix dyes now, which is ridiculous. Like, I would say it's downright silly. So these are now getting canceled. Because we need some of these to get moved over to this. But, so I'm just going to let them clear up this round of clothing. The Tundra Titan appears to be killing stuff again, too. And once they're through this round of clothing, then hopefully they'll wait until next year. Or once they start waiting until next year, then we can min-max things for next round. Clayborn the Child has been possessed. C1 Iborn. Crafts Workshop, probably? Yep. Looks like it. Grabs a boulder. Probably. Okay, so this is all the changes that have been made to die. There's all of these dies if you generate a new world. And you can combine them to make different colors within the limitations of the game's colors. It's kind of ridiculous. It really just... It really just seems to me like Tarn got a bug in his ear about the fact that he could just mathematically add every single, Great. And an engraver's been missing for a week. Great. Excellent. Okay, kiddo, what do you have? You have your logs? I think I'm actually just going to get this squad training out here. I'm just going to make a barracks right here for now. It'd be easier to do it this way. Also, for some reason, some more morons have migrants have arrived. Well, our great renown continues to impress me. Wish them luck, chat. Clayborn's begun his mysterious construction somehow. Yep. Here comes Murder Pony. Tubal is now Murder Dwarf. So is Kosoth. So is Attis, this new child. His mom and dad are both about to die. Did that other dwarf make it? Maybe, although you're overwhelmed by horror. A bunch of children have been struck down and are now turning on the others. Yeah, they're now he's just like spawned. I don't think they have any chance. I'm going to just place a meeting zone right here real quick and forbid this just in case. And actually, I'm just gonna go underground and just start the memorializing right now before these disappear. Otherwise, they're gonna disappear immediately. Kosoth. Oops, I can type. T-O-B-U-L-Z-N-O-N. A-T-I-S-L-O-L. Attis, lol! Kumil. What was the last one? Melville. Oh, there goes one heading north. Maybe has a chance. Same with you. Maybe you have a chance. Nope, you're gonna die. Lightast has been hit. Hey, chat. Somebody type in Lightast M. Doran M. Asmil T. I need you guys to keep a list here. So these are all zombies now. These two are training up real quick. Same with this one. What is left of this? Pony's got 8 kills? Oh my god. There's very little left of... This is like a broken pony monster. Okay, they're still there. Thank you for typing those in regardless. Yeah, they're all gone now, see? Like, hovering over it brings them back, but there's been enough combat logs that they're all gone already. But we appear to have 1 chewing here successfully. 3, okay. We are getting some new dwarves. You're allowed in. Get in the fort. Get in the fort. Get in the fort. Limol V. I'm just going to presume that that's all of them. There we go. Cool. What's the pony's deal? It's a abominable smoke zombie. It's a murder pony. It's not the first murder pony we've had, actually. I want to say this is like the... Yeah, there's 2, actually. There's literal murder pony. And then there's this one. Which is a little bit more recent, I guess. Who just killed the mule. It can move really fast and infect things really fast. It's the Executions of Romance. It's Rough War, the Triangular Executions of Romance, and that's an artifact. Claiborne, the Dwarven Child, has created Etchim Shmeb. A church scepter, and claims it as an heirloom in the name of the family ancestor Attis Bridgeplate. Also, are you related to an Attis? If you are, I don't know who they are. Maybe a gift for the mayor. This is a shirt scepter. All craftsmanship is of the highest quality. It is encrusted with rectangular dolomite cabochons, and this object menaces with spikes of dolomite, tower cap, and on the item is an image of circles in chert. Similar ring to kebab? Wait, what? You mean Esim Schmab? Or the zombie? The scepter. Okay. Makes a bit more sense. Okay, well that was nutty. Ah! Also another one got struck down. This is as O. Just pause those rock blocks here. Get all these done. Oh my word. Okay, let's actually put these slabs into here, because this is like the god of like death, I think. It's kind of fitting, I don't know. Pac-Man Shrine? Nom nom. Gotta pack all the mans, man. Alright, so what I think... It's funny, I keep on saying, I'm gonna, like, try and clear up all these tasks, and then I'm, like, physically incapable of it. Just gonna let them work. Good to see you, too. Happy Thursday. Lanix, happy Thursday. Also, what are kids doing for chores at the moment? Get them doing everything. I need the extra hands. I appear to have caught another cave crocodile. Several cave crocodiles, actually. Did I not set you to go train outside? Dwarf? The heck? Oh. Guess I didn't. I mean, what color is basalt? It's like a brown, right? Whatever goes well with brown, I guess? I guess that would be personal opinion mostly now, wouldn't it? Okay, so I'm just going to go back over here and throw the trained crocodiles into there. And then the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to farming, and I'm going to go nest box. I got another one. Trying to breed crocodiles, and it hasn't worked. Okay, so this is supposed to repeat yearly, but it seems to just be repeating constantly, which is odd. Let's just shut these on. Because it really is starting to seem like they're just over-prioritizing. They're certainly not only using dyed cloth, so... Forgotten Beast, Losta has come. A towering lizard with lidless eyes. It has 4 stubby horns, and it squirms and fidgets. Its slate gray scales are small and overlapping. Beware its noxious secretions. Where the fuck is this one? Okay, this one's also far away. Okay, I think I need these dwarves inside is what I need, really. Why is there cloth in this? Is there bins in this? I guess it just ended up there. Can you dye metal armor? No. But you can decorate metal armor? These two are training at the very least. So you are connected to this lever. What's up, Vid13? You can dye leather armor, though, because you can dye leather. Let's also see if I can place some more of these. Doran. Melville. Light test. That part's good. Freedom for Gorlax. I mean, sure. I could free them. They'll probably just walk back into the fort, though. It's not really a huge priority. Yeah, it's a little weird that they're not prioritizing specifically dyed cloth. But at least the amount of cloth we have is going up. So that's good, I guess. Let's just check all of our cloth right now. 114. Also, it doesn't specify what is dyed and what isn't in here. Which is a bit of a bother, but... Do I have you only use dyed? So I turned it on, and they weren't using it. They weren't only using dyed cloth, so I turned it off. So I don't know. Because I had it on. And then I was like, well, it's not working, so, like, see, use only dyed cloth, and I turned it off, and they still were not using only dyed cloth. I linked to this with a stockpile for a bit to see if that would do it, and that did it, but then it's bottlenecked by whether or not stuff gets into the stockpile, which is its own problem. Unless I'm missing some other step, Elmir, which I don't think I am. Let's you combine gold and steel to make what? Auric steel? Same value and strength as steel gold, but has a nice golden tint. Ow! But like similar to the way godlike metal looks generally? Actually, this is something I want to follow. Mayor. So apparently there used to be like overflow issues with meetings. And supposedly those have been fixed now and happen more consistently. So I want to watch this dwarf go about meetings for a wee bit. I'm also going to take you off of being a planter because that's not the greatest task for you to be doing. Cthulhu Dancing, thank you very much for the gifted subs. Appreciate you. Also, it's been a minute. Hope you've been well. Thanks for the first notification of money in 2 hours. Appreciate you. What's stopping you then, Bert? It looks like, it's basically like this color, like the color of these gems in this window, which is Jasper's. So they're all just a very yellow color. You don't even have time to wipe your ass? Ah, I see, it's a time issue. Gotcha. Also, the other thing I was going to do is I was going to go back to this farm area down here, or this area that I've designated to farming. I'm just going to plant some of these, or make a garden right there. Let's get 2 more planters in here. Let's also just throw some peasants into planting, just so that we have some extras. I already have a farmer's guild, so that's not such a big concern. Looks like we have plenty of dimple cup seeds at this point, too. I mean, the godlike or the randomly generated metals to me kind of look like a lighter gold. It's like a, I don't know, it's more of a piss color, less of a dark color. I don't know. It's not gold, it's a different kind of yellow, but cheers, Magic Rob. I mean, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays, I'm pretty consistently live at this time. Cave crocodiles fighting? Well, that's not good. Turns out this is a pretty good way to train up your soldiers, too. And they just go back to training. I'm actually just going to go over here real quick. And don't worry about that. Just click wood. Just get all of this wood inside the fort. And then I'm just going to close off this area. Why you can't see some artifacts? Because if they have modifications made to them, presuming you're playing in a recently generated world, if they've had modifications made to them, then some of the sprites just don't exist. Would be why you can't see some artifacts all of the time. Although there is a mod that removes the item modifications that don't have sprites from the game currently. Which is kind of a funny mod, actually. Any nobles that could use a Lanix? No. No, there isn't. Unless you want a militia commander, but that's not really a noble. I mean, Lanix, I'll be honest, you had a noble in this fort, and you had a demon. So I'm going to give them a name that's different from just plain old Lanix, but... You want the militia commander? Okay. I'm going to call you Banix. The sequel to Lanix. Banix, unless you can think of something better. Or actually, here, how about I do it backwards? Xinal. Zanal. That may be bad. I don't know. If you can think of something better, I'll take it. She is quite the bold... I'll even go Lanix too. She is quite the bold flatterer and extremely friendly and just a little insufferable. Does not generally seek retribution for past wrongs and is somewhat uncomfortable around those that appear unusual or live differently from herself. She is quite uncomfortable. She's somewhat uncomfortable around those that appear unusual or live differently from herself. And we get anti-Lanix? Nah. Something better. I said something better, specifically. For a second, I thought we were trying to figure out what a Lanix was, and then I settled on an Axe-Lance combo, and I realized it's their name. Nope, it's their name. If I were a dwarf living in this hellscape, if I were a dwarf living in this hellscape, what would my profession be? Dead on the surface, probably. Maybe a zombie still, if I was lucky. She has little interest in joking around and tends to make a small mess with her own possessions, and sometimes acts with little determination and confidence. She can handle stress and generally acts with a narrow focus on the current activity. She tends to do things correctly each time, and she often feels envious of others. She is slow to trust others, and she does not often feel envious of others, and she runs her fingers through her head when she's annoyed, and she interrupts others during conversations. And when she's annoyed, she tends to stretch her body when she's thinking, and she needs alcohol to get through the working day. Zanal sounds too close to anal. That doesn't make it much better. Let's just go Lanix 2. Lanix 2. Personally finds the pursuit of skill mastery off-putting and sees no value in holding back complaints and concealing emotions. And dreams of creating a great work of art. Personally, likes dacite, aluminum, and moonstone, and coral, and breastplates, and animal traps, and creepy crawlers for their freakish wriggling. Yikes. And the willful nails, the sound of the carmine musics, and the sight of the cardinal blossom, and when possible, prefers to consume hagfish and soft wheat beer and muskmelons. You ask me if you're alive, which you are. You ask me if your dwarf is dead yet. But don't ask me multiple times the same day, because if you do, then I will be like, of course not. What? Population hasn't changed, but today's been chaotic, so just ask. When possible, prefers to consume hagfish and hates mussels. That's the last thing I read. You're friends with McManus, who's dead. You're friends with Nil and Bahruz, who are both still alive, and you were passing acquaintances with the Wu, who's dead, and you're a bit uneasy after being able to pray for too long. Welcome to the fort. I have very few commands for anything, because I'll be honest, my brain tunes them out completely. So, no, I just kind of operate under the, I don't know, if you want to ask, just ask me. Mode of thinking. I don't know if that's a good mode of thinking, but it's what I roll with. Sandwich. I'm starting to think my boy crocodiles are all real dumb because they're not fertilizing any of the lady crocodile's eggs. Which is a bit frustrating. So they should stop making tunics. They should stop making loincloths, which they appear to have. Although, is that specifically in stockpiles? Need one unused silk cloth. I'm just going to say I think I have enough clothing right now. I'm just going to redo my clothing jobs later, because something's weird about them. I think it's because I left them paused for too long. If I were to bet. So I'm just going to pause all those, or just get rid of them entirely. We'll just let our cloth supply catch up. Why are my wrestlers fighting? There's a murder croc up here, and it seems that Punch's Elves is injured. And so is this gem cutter. Well, we're gonna go recover wounded. You're hauling the gem cutter. Oops. And Punch's Elves is dead. Well, you were in the military, so you don't even have the excuse of, like, not of having, like, had a weapon. Rip. Rest in peace indeed. I don't know whose leg that is, so I'm just gonna throw it away. The Helsing Community server is like a group server for events that my team organizes, not one for my community generally. Just an FYI. But if you want to join my Discord server, it's !Discord. Also, Putnam responded to my question, and yes, the Forgotten Beasts are fixed. Behind the scenes now. This one. Well, it's right there. That's my Discord, which is much more dwarf focused. I feel like this dwarf needs an office. Do I have any more slabs that need to be placed? Yes, I do. Shit. Three more. All right, so let's move some things around. Turn off this burrow. Turn on this burrow. Put everybody in this burrow. And I'm going to lock some doors in a little bit. What a dwarf. What would that be? There's several. All of them have enough problems at this point that I haven't settled on one. But Matrix is a possibility, but there are some problems with it that I think might make running it as a large community very difficult. And outside of that, it's likely something along the lines of, how do I put this? Something else, but I don't know. Very uncertain in that world right at the moment. I will say from my experience messing around with Matrix, very good for small private communities. Maybe not good for big public communities. having messed with it, but I don't know. Your cat is screaming because he caught his toy. Sounds like a small child. Once again, proving that cats are roughly the intelligence of a 2-year-old. Let's just get this dealt with, and then we can lock everybody indoors. I don't know, I've found some really smart 2-year-olds, man. And also I've seen some really dumb cats, so I think, like, we're not working in absolutes here. But, like, you know, I've certainly encountered smart cats in my life, and I've also certainly encountered some really dumb children. Game's about to save. Somebody coming to do tomb stuff? Not yet. Tisk. This area's a little bit far away. Let's just forbid all this. Back up, everybody. Let's go for the stuff that's closer to home right now. Just want to go pick up this spear and shield if I can. And we got a ghost. Great. Who's the ghost? Goulet! Just created a new fort and the faction has 16 dwarves. You know, it's funny. I started a fort with a faction of 40 dwarves and didn't get a monarch recently. So I don't know if it's guaranteed, but it certainly helps your likelihood. But I think that the currently existing monarch needs to die regardless. It's just if that monarch dies, which is like a 1 in 170, I guess, chance per year, then you are much more likely to get it because you have the majority of the population, but that's still limited to whether or not the currently existing noble dies. So it's like you need a dead faction and a noble who's actively in some sort of peril. All right, let's wait for that ghost to be dealt with. That tomb's dealt with. Now let's go here and turn off this burrow and turn on this one. Wait, no, not that one. This one. Solid gray, and he invited himself into your house and went directly into your crib. So I presume my little sister isn't watching my stream, because I don't think she ever watches my stream. I got my little sister a wedding gift, because her wedding is the day after tomorrow. So I won't be streaming tomorrow, because I will be traveling to go crash at my parents' house for the night be ready for a wedding the following day. But the wedding gift that I got for my little sister is a photograph of a cat. It's a piece of art, right? And it's a photograph of a cat at an interesting angle with a really, really, really long shield. Or not shield, shadow kind of thing sticking out of the side of it. And the cat's been like redrawn in pencil and watercolor, but it was originally a photograph of a cat. And then the shadow is a collage of cat prints, which were all photographs and then traced with a pencil, and then painted in like a little collage pattern all the way across, with the face of like a photo of an owl at the top looking at the cat, and it's this really cool. I need to get a photo of it before they take it, but it's currently wrapped up in paper, so I can't show it off. But as I asked them what they wanted for wedding gifts, and they were just like, cash or art. I was like, okay, cool. That's an excuse for me to just take the budget that I would give you in a cash wedding gift and instead just go to like the little art gallery circuit around here for like 2 months. And I finally found something. Invite Blind to your wedding? Are you my little sister? Because I've already been invited. Otherwise, no thanks, I'm good. Oh, please. I love that they appear, turn into a zombie, and then immediately leave. That's so fucking funny. So fucking funny. I'm just gonna lock this. Then I'm gonna lock this. Also just gonna delete this. And I'm then going to just go here. And I'm going to allow them to move stuff, basically. So I'm gonna grab all of these stockpiles that are currently available. And just allow them to move stuff around. Because I would like to see these bins moved up to here, basically. I would like to see stuff put away. Which they are. Yeah, they enter the map and immediately die. They enter the map, immediately get converted to zombies, freak out, and leave. And that's the fortress defense. It's quite effective, I will say. I think we're okay on clothing for a bit. I wonder, actually. It's supposed to also allow silk, but, like, I'm not seeing any dyed silk going in here. Oh, maybe it's all just been used. That may actually be it. Stockpiles, finished goods, stockpile, this one's full. Let's just get rid of you. I need to, you know, actually this zone, I'm gonna just kind of permit this entire layer, I guess. It's probably actually the way to do this. Because this will be an opportunity for me to increase my storage capacity. I'm thinking about just building some sort of storage area. Maybe just friggin' beneath this. That might actually be the way to do this. Just for most of our finished goods. Wait, was that race or... Yeah, okay. So let's just go right here. And just do like this. This is gonna be like furniture and stuff. Because currently I don't have anywhere really to store furniture. And I desperately need somewhere to store furniture. I'm a zombie. What's funny is then they go home. And presumably wreak havoc? Actually, I should check something. I need to keep an eye on these guys because it might tell me if they become zombies. Although it just says goblin, right? Yeah, I don't know, actually. Causing the world to, and in coming years, the world will be ended. I mean, that's kind of my idea. That is sort of the theory. That is sort of the plan here, even. Or maybe even the goal is to just end the world. There's something about, like, apocalypse cults in media that are just super compelling, even though in reality they're just directly horrifying. But it's such a fun storytelling element. Okay, so you're just making more dimple dye. Just making dimple dye. Talk about 28, 30, 27, 28, and 30. Well, you should be able to function, actually. You want art with cats? Well, I mean, there's an art gallery in Victoria called Gage Gallery, which probably still has them on for sale if you want to go snag one for yourself. Heaven's Gate was a fun cult. I wouldn't say Heaven's Gate was a fun cult. It's fascinating. Fun is maybe not a word I would use, YouTube chat. Their website's still up, though. Forgotten Beast, Allah has come. Alas, it's a hairy snake fly. It has a fat, bulging trunk, and it appears to be emaciated. Its indigo hair is long and straight. Beware its poison vapors. And it can fly, and it's very far down. Ooh. Allah Kazam. Okay, so now that everybody's indoors, I'm just going to reassign this one. Although they should stay reasonably outside of that top cavern layer. And I'm also just going to real quick do this. This is going to look mighty silly for a sec, but... I needed to get rid of that food stockpile anyway. Let's do this instead. And you, right here, are going to load from this stockpile. So it's really easy to get leaves for dyeing? Yeah, that's what it seems to be. From reading it, it just seems like a reason to stay closer to... Well, actually, you know what dyeing actually seems like? It seems like a really good way to keep your dwarves from getting cave adapted, actually, because it's a task that requires access to the surface, right? And frequent access to the surface, even. So that would actually make it a really good... Avos, you have an injured arm, so you can get swapped out for somebody else who's fighting. Hopefully not my dwarves. Uh-oh, it looks like somebody just died unless I'm going crazy. Twas one of my dwarves. Oh. You're not supposed to be out there, silly dwarf. Well, let's turn this back on. Tell this squad to go kill these. And open this up. Oh, come on. Confirm, confirm. And I think the dwarf is dead. Well. I'm gonna be honest, chat. I kinda don't care. I just want these dwarves to be functional again. I just want to get back to work. I just want to get back to work, chat. I don't know what that means, Bert. Someone in the military, dwarf without a beard, if there's any left. There's one left. There's two left. Three left, actually. Zildy, thanks for the 12th month. Welcome back.
Crypt beer.
Appreciate you. Chat, can I get a round of beers? Oh, see, like, I work from home and I've never worked in an office, so I wouldn't know what an RTO is. That to me reads like a return something on investment. But no, I'm not giving the dwarves a return to office mandate. That would require me being an asshole and a terrible boss. I'm not firing my dwarves, I guess is the answer to that question. So abso-fucking-lutely not. I wouldn't do such a stupid thing. All right. I also, these dwarves don't pay taxes, so. What the hell are you doing, dwarf? Get inside. You've only seen it on the internet? I don't look at that part of the internet. Or I try not to. Although it took me longer than I should admit to learn what WFH meant. So you wanted a beardless military dwarf. Let's go with the one who hasn't died a lot recently. She can be very happy and optimistic and relies on the advice of others during decision-making and is slow to anger and tries to share her own experiences and thoughts with others. She does not have a great aesthetic sensitivity and she is conflicted by this. She values artwork and its creation. She doesn't seek out excitement and she is quite polite. She is slow to trust others and she can occasionally overindulge and is quite comfortable with others that have a different appearance and culture. And she is has a tendency towards forming deep and emotional bonds with others. She has a greedy streak and she does not easily hate or develop negative feelings. She laughs loudly when she's excited and she scratches her ear when she's nervous and needs alcohol to get through the working day, and I right-clicked when I didn't intend to. She only grumbles mildly at bad weather and doesn't really care about anything anymore. Dreams of raising a family and personally doesn't care if others take the time to master skills. And she dreams of raising a family. She can be very happy and optimistic, and she relies on the advice of others during decision-making. So here's what I'm going to do. Chat. I'm going to catch the retired Navy vet in a cage trap, which I can't do right now because he knows it's here. But if he doesn't know it's there, I should be able to catch him in a cage trap. That dwarf can just get memorialized because fuck it. I think I also need to make slabs. Yes. So, if I deconstruct this cage trap and reconstruct it, I should be able to catch him. And if I'm able to catch him in a cage trap, I could then release him into the caverns. And by doing that, he's just going to deal with my problems for me. He is a zombie. He might have motor nerve damage. And he's covered in my dwarf's blood. He's actually pretty happy, all things considered. He's got 11 notable kills. He's going to go around and clean up the caverns. And keep things stable, ideally, for us. How are the dwarves today? Good and bad. Some good, some bad. Some of column A, some of column B. A little bit of column X and Y. How's Zemodir today? We've lost many dwarves, gained many dwarves. I just want to get to work and dig down. And so I'm going to make this zombie dwarf who we lost do the work for me. I mean, he is fully decked out in steel gear. Man, I wish I had a backpack that made meals last forever. Could you imagine how valuable that would be for camping? Just bring, like, some fresh chicken with you. You made a wall around the outside of a building and a roof over it to prevent agitated birds from attacking you. Lamau, any ideas to add? Dig down. Like, as in what to add to it. If you set up battlements, you could set up patrol routes for your soldiers so that they can, so that they can use that space as a defensive method and training being Mark's dwarves. Could do that. Let's just go to where I'd built this. Let's just deconstruct these. And go construct cage, dwarf, and door right there. Zem is feeling older today. Back hurting. What does motor nerve damage do? It impacts... So, dwarves' movement is physics-based and calculated like a 3D game. So, imagine the dwarves are moving kind of like Mountain Blade, the way they move in Mountain Blade, except in Dwarf Fort. So, it's momentum-based, it's physics-based, it's based on how they can functionally move their arms. And if they have motor nerve damage in their arms, it's going to impact their ability to move. Because, like, damaged nerves can cause pain, severed nerves can, you know, cause worse. I'm just going to plunk a lever down right here. And then link a lever to... Oh, I see. They canceled the construction. Probably because this cage is trying to get moved. Yes, it is. Okay, well, now we just wait for them to move this cage. Now, finish building that. Do I not like DF hack? What makes you think I don't like DF hack? I'm not using it right now because the game updated today, but I almost always have it running. Not using something to its full extent does not generally equal not liking it. I realize I always respond to that one with a question, but I'm genuinely fascinated by people who think that because I don't use something the same way you do, I don't like it. No, I don't like the UI additions. I don't think they're necessary in most cases. In some cases, I find them annoying. And I don't like it when the game's fully automated and plays itself. I don't enjoy that. I would rather fuck up and forget to butcher my animals and then have way too many animals. I would rather fuck up and forget that I need to what's it called? I would rather fuck up and have a dwarf starve to death instead of the game notify me that there's a dwarf stuck. I would rather not account for all the enemies on the map and then have a hostile entity show up somewhere I'm not expecting it. That's interesting to me. And I think a lot of those scripts are kind of destructive to that as a playstyle. So I don't fully... I kind of intentionally, I guess, avoid an over-reliance on it. But what I'm fascinated by is how people presume I don't like something or hate something. Like, I've had people be like, oh, Blind hates this. It's like, no, I don't. What? It's a useful tool. I use it, like, all the time. I put out a bunch of fires with it yesterday. All right, so now I just need to hope that there isn't a way back into the fort. But I'm releasing the retired Navy vet out into the caverns. True, but do you not like it? Is just a way to word something inherently negatively. But I don't know. I guess I also like to tell people and show people that you can play this game without using it, because there's a lot of people who insist that the game is unplayable without it, which I think is just categorically false. Okay, so now when creatures appear out here, we can check in on retired Navy vet and see how he's doing.
This last month has
because he's just gonna go
busy.
zip off to murder stuff.
Caught many streams, sad face. Hope you are doing well.
I'm doing all right.
21 months.
Big Bang, thanks for the 21st month. Welcome back, mate. But it's a table for dining room and throne chair for study when it comes to dwarves. Dining rooms also need a chair. Tables aren't really usable without chairs. They'll get annoyed with the lack of chairs, even though they'll eat at the tables. But yeah, whenever there is something that's murderable for this guy, he will go murder it. And now we have this area that's sealed off again. And scanning through here. I'm gonna go into here. I'm just gonna smooth this whole fucking thing. Do it the easy way. This is the same map that Godly Tombs took place on, if that means anything to you, Big Bang. Well, just north of that map, actually. Can expand the number of engravers we have. So we've had a lot of dwarves die today. So chat, every now and again you gotta tell me to check in on the cavern zombie. Oh, you're supposed to be wood. Correct. Yeah, so this is the one that had the blockade, that zombie with a shield that killed everything. Well, I don't have a blockade, but I do have Final, who's a dwarf with a pickaxe. I do have Headhunter, who's a zombie who killed a demon by biting its head. And now we have retired Navy vet, this dwarf, who murdered a bunch of my dwarves this morning, but is fully armored. And so I wasn't able to get a single zombie that was fully armored like this. So I'm very much hopeful that this dwarf can get to similar levels of, oh my god! Here's hoping. I'm currently just trying to get things reorganized again. I'm also just going to go up here and make a leather stockpile. Geld all of them is my advice, Blue. But you don't actually want my advice. Because most people who ask me about what to do with cats are just like, I have 125 cats. I'm like, geld them. And then they give me a crying emoji. I'm like, well, that's a you problem. You should do that in real life, too. They're less likely to die of weird diseases. But also, another thing, Big Bang, is there was a patch this morning, which I guess I need to make a video of this evening. Jeez. Gelder's Guild win? Literally not possible! I've talked about this. You can make a Farmer's Guild, but there's no such thing as a Gelder's Guild. I've tried. Yes, you can geld animals, Blue. You see this little knife button? Any male animal that is geldable, you click that. If you have a farmer's shop, the dwarves will geld them. And then you don't get babies made by that male dwarf. Or, not dwarf, animal. So, like, if you have 40 cats in your fort for some stupid reason, click this button, and it'll geld them. Celesty, the gem cutter, has been taken by a Feymood. I've gone through the entire list. There's no fucking... Chat! Hard reset on the conversation, round of beers, talk about anything else, please. Let's move on. If you're incapable of it, I will end early and edit news for the day. That is my threat to you from me. Celestia has claimed a workshop. Chad has certainly entered into a mood, fell and terrible. Rough Pyrites is what she chose to grab. That'll be cool. I mean, I have to make a news video this evening anyway, so... Streamer cries in rapid insanity. Chat room. Can we just have conversations that don't make me want to throw up? That'd be cool. You missed the new patch notes? Everybody did. I don't think they're even on Steam yet. Or they weren't last time I looked, which was not that long ago. Nope, they're up now. Here's the Steam patch notes. Do I journal at all? Do you have skin? I don't want to talk about me right now. I just want to punch the last subject in the head and cry profusely and wish that, I don't know, I slept in this morning. You know the answer to that question, Zalvi. I talk about journaling like fucking all the time, and no, I'm not going to tell you what I've been writing about. Like the last time somebody asked me that question. So Jesus Christ, no fucking shit I journal. Where am I going with this? I'm just going to erase you. I'm going to do like a fun half quarter circle thing, maybe. Well, see, unlike you, I'm not a nerd, and I don't play tabletop RPGs. I play grown-up games for big kids that don't require little plastic models, all right? So no, I don't journal my damn No, I don't journal any video games. I journal real life shit, mental health stuff, which is probably why I don't like talking about it. It's like, it's a meditative, like, way of reforming my thoughts and hopefully banishing some of the toxic life-ending ones. It's not a fun thing for me, nor a fun thing to think about. It's, yeah. Not something I want to talk about, I guess. Let's make this for furniture. Just get everything out of the main area if I can. Time's going slow for you this week? Why's that? Today's been going slow for me this week. I don't know why, though. I think it's because, like, I'm stressed as all hell about tomorrow. Zalvi, can I ask you a question? I've gotten frustrated with you in the past for this very thing, where you ask an extremely personal, direct question when I'm trying to just redirect the conversation to something general. And I realize I focus on it, and this is me fucking up, and I shouldn't do this. Can you not ask me about me? Let's talk about anything else, please. Let's not talk about me. That's very different. Like, you know, if I were to... No, I'm gonna drop the subject. Celesty the Gem Cutter has created Deller Urus, a pyrite scepter, and offers it to the Strangled Weasel. That's another scepter. I'm gonna throw this one in the tavern. I don't care. Is my thoughts on the Asus Rogue Ally. You can't read? Oh, that's unfortunate. Well, hopefully you learn one day. It's crazy that you're able to type in my Twitch chat, though. It's all the dyes, right? You know? There's now 1 billion uses for trees. That was the whole plan for today, and then shit went sideways, and then went sideways again, and then went sideways again. But yeah, that was the plan for today, was to go down. But they just haven't managed it. So currently I'm just trying to get this fort organized. Once the fort's organized, then I can go back to plan numero uno, which was going down. Also, in regards to these spiraling, when I just kind of get, like, mad at myself, this is something I need to work on. It's something I've gone to friggin' therapy for, so it happened. I need it to not happen again. Move forward. Where are you? Finished goods. Everything! Except where? Do I like to assign items as symbols of their office? You kind of mechanically have to. Yeah, I do that all the time. I think I've done that since you've been here. Done that in like the last 30 minutes. Most handheld artifacts that are holdable are assigned to nobles, yeah. Although I don't generally do that for military roles, because military roles, because they have their own gear already, they just get, what's the word? Lost? No. They end up in situations where I said no where. That's where. Oh, maybe they were just there, unrelated. Silly. Wait, you had an immigrant come in as a were-lemur? That shouldn't be possible. Like, where creatures are not supposed to be able to migrate to your fort. They're also not supposed to be able to show up as visitors. You sure it wasn't a visitor? Because that's a bug that I'm familiar with, is them showing up as visitors, but I've never seen them show up as migrants. That's kind of terrifying. Unless, like, you've royally screwed that world up, or that world is royally screwed up. That shouldn't be a thing that happens. So that's a dark, concerning statement. Instead of directly out of barrels, don't put them in chests in your tavern. Put them in a stockpile in the tavern. I just put them in a bin right here. They just grab that and go there. Just make sure that you have enough for the average number of dwarves drinking at any given time. It was an immigrant who was infected? It could have been a visitor. I don't know. That's not... I mean, I'm not saying it can't happen. It can happen, but it shouldn't, is what I'm trying to say. But yeah, I just put them in bins, and that tends to work. You could also throw, like, handheld musical instruments in those. Otherwise, only performers or tavern keepers. I thought I told you not to put where in here. Grr. Are they considered armor? I thought they were considered wear. Yeah, well, all right. Well, more you know. I thought armor was specifically leather, armor, and, like, breastplates and shit. But if those are considered armor, then I just learned something. How's the zombie doing? That's a good question. Maybe... Hasn't moved much, although... He can only stab as far as he can reach, so... There's a lot of flying creatures in that cavern. Oh, right, all these can be unforbidden. Also, I need to double check. Are you loading? No, you're not. Guess also armor. All right. Still trying to get all these logs put out of here, because I need to get all of these out. Armor seems to be the catch-all for top wear. Yeah. It's interesting, though. I didn't realize that counted for cloaks as armor, as I've always specified between the two of them. Refuse to load under any circumstances. I've had several worlds that just couldn't load in Dwarf Fortress, but that's usually because they crashed during a save and, like, bricked the actual world itself. It's like how to cause an apocalypse. Literally just stop the game from saving. Mid-save. Well, this does work. It just takes a bit. Salt gems, that's all... Wait, what? Turquoises are so bright. I don't remember them being that blue. Huh. Fascinating. I may actually just dump these bins. Just get rid of these. like I realize they've got stuff in them, but I need to just get them removed. Just making sure these don't have artifacts in them. Yeah, these can also get dumped. It's what you call spring cleaning, because it's almost spring. Late winter cleaning. Man, nobody's fertilizing these eggs. I'm starting to think that there's some sort of bugs or issues with eggs getting fertilized because I've got male cave crocodiles and female cave crocodiles, and they should be able to breed, but they're not. They're just shy? Well, they've had dozens of years and plenty of privacy. Okay, so let's see what we're doing actively right now. A lot of dumping of items. Whole lot of dumping of items. Which is fine. Just get rid of all this stuff. They need water, maybe? That's not ever been a necessary thing in the past. Usually you just put male and female of the animal with a nest box nearby, they lay the eggs, and then you get the animal. That's simple. So I don't know. This is actually, like, completely new to me. So once this sits here long enough to pop back up, all of this stuff is just going to fall. Large gems and all. I'm aware that I'm getting rid of valuable items, but this is a fort that is in a situation where, quite frankly, I just need shit to be cleaned up. It doesn't matter so much. Are they locked away so the dwarves cannot move them into the kitchen? I don't... Wait. How old is this particular fortress? We started in 411. Completely new. How often do you still experience things that are totally new for me after as many hours in this game? How often? It varies. I mean, I experienced totally new stuff this morning because the game updated, but I think that that's kind of cheating the question. It's kind of hard to say. I mean, it varies, but frequently enough. Maybe more often than you realize, I guess. Probably more often than you realize. Is maybe what I'll go with. Got a bunch of sandstone. Let's just get this cleaned up here. I mean, it's the reason that I still play this game and I'm not constantly burnt out on it, right? I mean, I do still have my moments where I get burnt out on the game. There's an ad break in 20 seconds. I'll pause when the ads hit. There are still moments where I get burnt out on the game, but the majority of the time I'm not, which is not the case for most games that I've covered in the past. Like most games, I will kind of go in and out of varying levels of like burnout, but I've never really gotten burnt out on Dwarf Fortress, which is kind of shocking, but it is the truth. The best I can swing it, anyway. What's the new patch? If you click on the patch notes, it'll tell you at the top of the stream. Simple answer is a fuck ton of bug fixes, a lot of old issues getting patched, and the Lua stuff getting polished, and a shit ton of new dye. And also new stockpile mechanics. That's the short version. But if you want the detailed answer, I recommend looking at the patch notes. Or waiting until tomorrow whenever I post the new news video. Okay, we're in an ad break. We'll pause. I'm actually noticing this time. I've been very distracted today. Don't know why. It's just the reality. Do I live? That's a good question, actually. I don't know. Hold on. Yes, you do live somehow. We've lost many dwarf today, so living is certainly not as easy as it has been in the past. Let me say that. I can't say I've ever lived La Vida Loca. In Strap Beach, the Bourne Island. This underground region where he killed a crocodile is called Strap Beach, the Bourne Island. Learning what underground regions are named is one of the coolest things. Super cool. It's the least I can do, Arga. Just gonna get rid of this stockpile. Just move it down there. Okay. So, with everything as it currently sits, turn this barrel off. I'm gonna go check bedrooms real quick. It's just a baby who doesn't have a bedroom, which is fine. I go down to here, and I'm just gonna give all of the dwarves who I can cabinets, who seem to need them, which is most of them currently. Or a lot of them. Give a bunch of dwarves chests. I think I've got more chests than cabinets, seems like. Definitely do. But some of the dwarves can get some of their stuff put away. I mean, it's you and your wife sharing this place. That sounds right. Well, yeah, that's a whole. I'll check Arga again when the game's done saving. You keep having relics stolen, and you interview the one who witnessed, but you can't seem to find who did it because it's possible that they left the map already. If you don't want stuff stolen, make sure that all of your artifacts are in a room where something will see something trying to steal it, like behind a cop, as an example. Or like behind your soldiers or a guard dog. And if you want to be absolutely positive that nothing can get to your artifacts, just don't allow visitors in any of your public buildings. So tavern, library, temples, hospitals, etc. As somebody who's been through varying levels of rough time for the last 2 decades, word, Arga. Let's go see. No, you didn't, but was very close to a Forgotten Beast. I do recall that. I mean, I think you definitely witnessed some people die earlier today, didn't you? Not that I'm seeing. You did get hunted by the dead, though. Well, these streams are my safety net, literally and figuratively. Let's go over here and just remove all this. Caught up on that now. Down in here, I'm seeing stuff get put away again. This actually shouldn't have any barrels in it. It's a bit late, but... Let's make another 40 wooden barrels. Got this industry more or less running at as much capacity as it's going to, probably. And I'm gonna just go up to here. Oh, why didn't you ever get finished? What? I swear that I did this. Can I name a door void? Sure. Void. Am I supposed to avoid that door? Quite literally, no. I don't think there's any elves that have ever even been in this region, JKRT. Because, like, it's just goblins here. And then this fort is run by a dwarven faction. And the only reason they are there is because I put a dwarf there. So unless there's elves as part of these goblin civs, I highly doubt there's any elves. But there's also no elves in this fort. Why do you ask? Now the dwarves will travel through the void. I think they travel through the void every time they look outside briefly. Okay, this is gonna be Dimple, 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 and Dimple. Now we're gonna see dwarves planting a whole lot of Dimple Cup spawn. We're seeing a lot of focus dwarves, which is good. Oh, well, I mean, this whole area is very secluded, and we're settling here because if you type in ! goal, JKRT, you'll see the, what's the word? You'll see the, I don't even know who the Passionate Nations are. If you type in ! Goal, you'll see a link to a YouTube video, which is the world that this fort takes place in, which is my most viewed video ever. So basically the idea here is I'm trying to make a sequel to my most viewed video. That is kind of the concept anyway. I think trading with elves is more fun than fighting elves, but you're putting a kappa there, so you know what my response is going to be most likely. Let's go down into here. Okay, let's see if I can actually get this functioning in a way. You're connected to this. Let's do that. And I am going to deconstruct this. And channel through that. Deconstruct this and channel through that. And I'm going to bring my soldiers down here. Just in case something evil comes piling in. Got a square of giant warbears? Hell yeah. Someone knows what's up. I'm not seeing that dwarf fighting anymore, though. Well, I mean, we've kind of come to the realization recently as well that you might be able to sell them dyed thread using wood now. which is fascinating in its own way. Also just going to get rid of this. And just go Dolomite and go all the way across. Also going to go down into here, and I'm going to do wall grate, wall grate, wall grate, wall grate. Although I will suspend these top two first. Now we just need to wait for the dwarves to get here. And hope nothing evil comes climbing in. Which I haven't seen anything, so far so good. One. Yeah, war bears are fun. Those are some of the better critters. I like war bears because they don't need to be assigned to pastures. Like, any war creatures that don't need a pasture assigned are generally my go-tos. Thank you, Felsner. It's good to see you, by the way. Can you believe it's been like 6, 7 years? Can you believe it? It's a crazy concept. All right, let's get these dwarves back to whatever they were doing previously. Let's unsuspend this and unsuspend this. Which means now there should just be 2 construct jobs. I will be right back. I'm going to go toss this in the sink because I keep going to go drink from an empty coffee mug.